another day, and by golly, I'll tell you what, we got another great championship wrestling program ready to go for you. Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside, and we're ready to go with the goodie, Davey.
Oh, I tell you what, opening match today is going to have Rick Casey in here. Following that, we'll have Dutch Mantel. The Fantastics will be here. Freedom Fighters. Jim Hellwig, Steve Borden will be here a little bit later on. And we'll be looking at the King, Jerry Lawler, Superstar Bill Dundee. Will be here in a super
Is that enough names, son of a gun? We got enough action coming up for you. We'll take it out right now. You stand by. San Antonio, Texas. Rick Casey will be in here in just a moment.
If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. I was one of the chosen few to be born in Alabama. I'm just like my daddy's son. I'm proud of who I am. I went through a lot of good women, shook old Jim Beam's hand. If I never see the pearly gates, I would walk through the promised land. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. If they don't have a Grand Ole Opry like they do in Tennessee, just send me to hell or New York City, it would be about the same to me. I got wild honey trees and crazy little weeds growing around my shack. These dusty roads ain't streets of gold, but I'm happy right where I'm at. All these pretty little southern belles are a country boy's dream. They ain't got wings or halos, but they sure look good to me. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. If they don't have a Grand Ole Opry like they do down in Tennessee, just send me to hell or New York City, it would be about the same to me. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie.
In the ring right now, Rick Casey and the Invader for a one-fall 15-minute time limit match. The Invader at 238 pounds out of parts unknown over on the left of your screen there, and out of San Antonio, Texas at 226 pounds, here is Rick Casey. One-fall 15-minute time limit match. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
No time, and Casey giving away just a little in size, maybe, Davey.
Yeah, he is in height and about 12 pounds in weight, but Rick Casey really looked good the times we've seen him here on Championship Wrestling. Looking forward to a good opening match here.
I've been kind of impressed with the fact that Rick does some major league gymnastics, can really get around in that ring, brother. That ability to come off that second rope and up on his feet with that backflip is something else, and he's used it to good advantage, too.
Referee stepped in, called for a break. They were back on the ropes. Casey backed away about 4 or 5 steps. Round behind, the Invader takes him down to the mat, trying to keep him there. Invader determined he's not going to be pinned. He gets over to the ropes and gets foot over the bottom rope. Good move for the Invader to get the hold broken.
One fall, 15 minutes in time is what this match is at. Rick Casey, hip toss. Boy, he popped him over and down real good that time. Made a good move. The initial point there is who is going to be able to get their foot and hip out in front to where they can get that leverage, and Casey certainly controlled that action.
Invader, boy, he controlled Rick into the ropes, but Rick set coming off of there and ended up with the advantage on it. Here's the Invader down on the mat. Rick Casey with a headlock on him, tightening down just a little bit.
Dutch Mantel talked to me before the program today, and he said, I want it to be made clear that I am the #1 Texas cowboy. So there's no question of getting him confused with anybody else who might be a cowboy from Texas.
Yeah, it's maybe somebody like is in the ring right now. Rick Casey got the headlock on the Invader.
He may try to convince everybody else of that. He's going to have a little harder time convincing Rick Casey of that.
You're right. Ooh, coming off the rope. Nice move with the shoulder. Rick Casey, drop kick, puts the Invader down to the mat.
Casey doesn't waste a lot of motion, does he, Dave? He really makes it compact in his moves and all.
That's a very good point. Very efficient wrestler, and that is not a lot of wasted motion, which means, of course, he's not tiring himself out. And that's exactly what he's trying to do with these headlocks, and that is wear down the Invader. When he was standing a few minutes ago and had the headlock, I just happen to think that's not a good hold, really a percentage hold, I guess you would call it, for Rick Casey, because the Invader's so much taller than he is, but he's making it work so far. Invader. Well, he rolled the shoulders up. One of the dangers of that hole.
Taking advantage of the situation. One of the things I noticed on Casey when he had that hold down there on the mat is how he had his head bent up in the air, not just down level with the mat, so he's putting that additional pressure on the neck and the vertebrae.
Both up back on their feet. Rick Casey, used the forearm. Nothing wrong with that as far as legality goes. There it is again. Using the forearm, the Invader backed into the ropes, whipped across the ring. Upper arm by Rick Casey, and the Invader bites the dust. Casey has him down on the mat. 3 minutes, 15 seconds gone in this opening match of the day. One fall only for this one.
Referee Jerry Calhoun, I was simply repeating that Casey over in the corner takes the forearm 4 times, and he finally comes back, and that may not be a forearm. It looks like he may have those fists doubled up.
Yeah, I think so. Crowd getting into it a little bit, too. They want Rick Casey to go to work on this guy. Casey signals for the last roundup. He bulldogs him across there, and the shoulders are down. Count is at 2 and 3. 3 minutes, 53 seconds. Rick Casey has the victory.
Very interesting as Casey turned it with that forearm right to the chin, I think was the turning point of it. The winner, Rick Casey, back in a moment. We're going to be back to the action here on Channel 7's Championship Wrestling coming up in just a moment. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at that Wednesday night action coming at the Coliseum. Cannot hardly believe it, my friend. We not only have a bunch of bouts. I mean, we're talking like 7 big bouts on a full card, but in addition to that, we have some supermen. Nature Boy, Buddy Landell will be back in town. Coco Ware, the Fabulous Ones will be going against the Huge Freedom Fighters. The Fantastics will be going against the Sheepherders. You've got a pole bullwhip match where Rick Casey and Dutch Mantel not only going to be selling a little argument, maybe a little bragging rights, and then you've got a main event with Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee. It's the hair of Bill Dundee and Beverly Dundee against Lawler leaving town. We'll have more on that in a little bit later. Dutchman,
let me tell these people in Evansville something. This is the biggest card that's been booked up there in that town, this town right here, in a long, long time. Now, people, I want you to listen closely to what I got to say, because when I speak the truth. Now, if any of you people think Rick Casey beat me last week, you're sadly mistaken, because he didn't beat me. He can never beat me, nor will he ever beat me. But he may have thought he got his hand raised in the air. Well, I'm going to tell you, I can nip that right in the bud, because, Casey, I'm going to whoop you like you stole a government mule, brother. I'm going to send you packing back to Texas, because I'm going to take Shoe Baby here. And I've never lost a bullwhip on a pole match, and we're going to put it on a big 10-foot pole. And whoever can go up that pole and come down with it can use it legally, and you people in Evansville know what I can do with it. And Casey, you're going to be leaving town, and I know somebody else is going to be leaving too, right, Bill?
That's right. Have you told him, Lancer, that Jerry Lawler finally fixed Bill Dundee's match? He finally signed it, brother. I've been talking to him. My lovely wife had to go put her hair on the line. I had to put my hair on the line, and little Beverly made a little old interview to talk about you, Lawler.
We'll have it all later on.
That's right. So
Billy,
you folks out there, you just sit and listen to a classy lady, Jack, tell you how she feels about Jerry Lawler, because he's going, Lancer. That's a promise.
well, we'll find that out Wednesday night.
There's Jim Jamison. He weighs in at 216 pounds out of Memphis, Tennessee, and just climbing into the ring there out of Oil Trough, Texas, at 229 pounds, Dutch Mantel. This match, 1 fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Did you hear that statement from Mantel? He said, "Announce me as the #1 cowboy from Texas."
I'm sorry, I did not hear Dutch say that in time, unfortunately, to get that said on the introductions. I did hear on the way in, Dutch Mantel told Jim Jamison he was going to take care of him in a little less than a minute. So we'll see. Mantel wasting no time going to work on Jamison as he slams him over near the ropes. Across the ring, drops with the lower leg across the chest. And #1 cowboy. Dutch says he's out to prove it right here. He's the #1 cowboy around this territory. Snaps Jim Jamison down to the mat. Covers 1. Whoa, 2 count. He picks him up with a hair. 45 seconds gone. I think, I don't know, maybe he could have gotten a 3 count there, maybe not, but Dutch didn't find out. He picked Jamison up before the count started.
Well, Dutch's attitude gets in the way of his being a charming individual. There's no question, Davey, that Dutch is basically a very sound wrestler. He's got a lot of excellent moves, and he is quick. This son of a gun is really quick.
Hammers Jamison down to the mat. He caught him coming off the ropes with the upper arm. Now Dutch climbing the ropes, off the middle rope, across the back, double forearm. Jim Jamison just driven down to the mat.
One-sided affair as the Dutchman up in the air, slams Jamison down, picked him up, dumped him. Looks like he's got him. Yep. He decided to take it, and take it he did.
Minute 42 was the time.
1 minute 42 seconds. The official winner, Dutch Mantel. We got some more big action coming up. We've got tag. Tommy Rogers, the Fantastic, coming to see us. Ought to be an interesting tag match that we've got coming up here, as the opponent's going to be the Spoiler and Pat Roy.
Yeah. You didn't have to have any message or anything with Thomas Sherry here at the TV station or anything, did you?
Oh, We sure have. How about you, Pat? I know you were concerned.
Yeah, I called him. I called Tom for Christmas to see how he was doing, and the lady answered and hung up on him, you know. So I don't know, something's wrong.
No, we haven't had any message here, and he obviously hasn't had any message either.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that is a message there for him.
Good point. Fantastics as they work their way around through the crowd there saying hi, and they'll be ready to hop in the ring there and get it on. Ought to be a good one, as we said, because Pat Rowe is going with Tommy. Okay, Dave, we're ready for the official introduction.
All right, one fall, 15-minute time limit match here. Tag team action at a total of 484 pounds. Introducing from parts unknown, the Spoiler, and his partner from Pensacola, Florida, Pat Rose, going against him at a total of 449 pounds. From the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers, the Fantastics. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, the jackets come off, and the Spoiler steps out. Pat Rose will be starting out as across the way. Let's see who it is. Tommy Rogers and Pat Rose. Bell time, and here we go. For those of you who may not have been here last week, Pat came by to just give us a little information that he had found a note on the pillow where her head usually lays.
Yes.
Is that a country song? Or is that
I think it was,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. And Sherry Martel said she had gone to mellow out and clear her head in Houston. And Pat got thinking, hey, son of a gun.
That's where Pritchard
Tom
lives.
Pritchard took off for Christmas time, too, and he lives down in Houston. So Pat having a little concern. Last week, his mind wasn't with the match all the way, I can say that. Before long, he may just get meaner, that's all.
Ooh, that's true. Pat in there right now with Tommy Rogers. Tommy back on his feet now. Pat Rose able to keep him tied up. Had a hold of his ankle, and Tommy couldn't move much. Finally, he broke out of that. The crowd cheering for the Fantastics. Tommy Rogers puts Pat Rose into the ropes. Pat Rose, size advantage, used the shoulder. He goes by. Tommy Rogers trying to set. He does, and he rolls him over. Down to the mat again, using the arm over to the corner of the tag. Made and Bobby Fulton coming in for the Fantastics.
Bobby wraps it up and snaps into a standing side headlock. Fulton and Rogers, couple of blazing son of a guns in that ring. They don't let up. They don't expect you to. And you see Bobby Fulton as Pat Rose gives him the leapfrog, and Fulton was rolling for a block on him, and Pat went over the top to hook him. Fulton just took him straight over and down. Has the wrist bent back.
Little misdirection there by Bobby Fulton. Pat Rose was expecting him to come off the rope straight up, and he came out blocking down around the ankles. That kind of threw the timing off for Pat Rose.
Big shoulder. Rose over in the corner, and he looked up and saw Tommy Rogers and said, whoop, I'm getting out of here.
I'm on the wrong side of the ring. Now he's back over his partner, the Spoiler, up on the apron. There's the referee tolling the count. He has a 10 count to get back in the ring after he gets out of there like that. Bobby Fulton and the Spoiler. Boy, he's a big guy. He'll weigh in at 265 pounds or so. Wrestles under the mask. Nice reversal. And Bobby Fulton takes him down to the mat. Spoiler with a right fist. Using the hair to put Bobby Fulton into the turnbuckles. Now he takes him back over close to his corner. The tag on Pat Rose. Rose in with a right fist. Cover by Pat Rose. Counts at 2. Fulton breaks out of it at the 2 count. Slam by Pat Rose. Off the ropes. Drops with the arm across the chest. Makes the tag on the Spoiler. That time he did not go for the 3 count. The big Spoiler Oh, Fulton. Nice knee lift coming off the ropes. Great balance by Fulton. He's over to the corner of the tag on Tommy Rogers in there now against the spoiler.
Rogers fires behind, goes for a sleeper hold. Now they got them all four in there. Fulton with Pat Rose and Tommy Rogers with a spoiler. Slams them together. Big double drop kick on Pat Rose. Come back over to try to take care of the spoiler, who's the official man. Up off the back of Fulton. The flying press, 2, 3. He got it.
Some of the best teamwork you'll ever see right there between Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton. 4 minutes, 12 seconds the time.
The winners, the Fantastics over the spoiler and Pat Rose. Back in a moment. Remind you that on Monday, January the 6th, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, there at the Convention Center at the Western Kentucky Fairgrounds. Box office going to be open at 5 o'clock, and when I tell you all the stars are going to be there, believe me, they're all going to be right there in Hopkinsville. That's on Monday, January the 6th. Thursday, January the 9th, Madisonville, Kentucky at the Browning Springs Middle School. Again, we've got great championship wrestling. Boy, this card coming up Wednesday night right there in Evansville is something else. Travis against Pat Rose, Yamamoto against Tony Falk, Nature Boy Buddy Landell will be in, going against Tracy Smothers. Coco Ware will be facing the Mega Maharishi. The Fabulous Ones against the huge Freedom Fighters, better known as the Blade Runners, as you will find out. The Fantastics against the Sheep Herders, and a pole bullwhip match with Rick Casey, Dutch Mantel, and finally, no time, no disqualification. There will be a winner. Lawler's leaving town against Dundee and his wife's hair. Into the ring right now, the Memphis Vice and the team of Tracy Smothers and Billy Travis ready for the official introductions.
All right, one fall 15-minute time limit match, introducing at 461 pounds out of Memphis, Tennessee, for the team of Big Lou Winston and Jerry Bryant, the Memphis Vice, and going against them at a total of 453 pounds. From Hamden, Connecticut, Billy Travis, and from Springfield, Tennessee, Tracy Smothers. And I see I wasn't paying attention there. That's not Jerry Bryant with Big Lou Winston, so it's only half the Memphis Vice. That man is wrestling under a mask right there, and I really don't know what name he's using today. But the man under the mask teamed with half of the Memphis Vice team, Big Lou Winston.
Okay, we're ready for the bell time, and here we go. Tracy Smothers starting out with Big Lou Winston, and the tallest of both teams represented in there. Smothers from Springfield, Tennessee, straight up in the air. Slams Lou down, and Lou down on the side of the ring. Tracy's such a likable young man.
Yeah, he really is. Good size on him, young wrestler, and expect big things out of Tracy Smothers as the years go along here. Ooh.
One of the things that I've heard some of the veterans talking to Tracy about is he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive in the ring, and he's picking up some of it. There's a tag on Billy Travis, and Billy, Hot Properties out of Hamden, Connecticut. Boy, now he's aggressive. He's just one of these guys that naturally has that aggression, and you don't have to talk to Billy as he puts the chop on the big body slam over the top and down with the knee. Tag on Tracy.
Smothers back in off the middle rope. Use that upper arm and takes the legs away from his opponent. Puts him down to the mat, arm up in a hammer position. The ropes will call for a break in the hole, though. Referee Jerry Calhoun stepped in between, backs Tracy Smothers away.
This guy looks like the Invader that we had in here earlier, but he's not that tall.
He's not near as big as the Invader that was here in the opening match against Rick Casey.
Lou Winston back in with Tracy Smothers. This was the starting tandem.
Yeah, Lou Winston telling the crowd, all right, got things going my way right here.
It was with Randy Hales, Dave, and Randy, we were doing a match with the Memphis Vice in there, and so Randy says, what are the two favorite words of Lou Winston? And I was stumped. I couldn't see exactly what he was talking about, and he said, shut up. And that, come to think of it, is true. He hollers that a lot.
All the time he's yelling that. You're right. Billy Travis in. Wraps up that left arm. A big Lou Winston. But Winston, well, it looked like he got him across the eyes using the fist, too. Tag made by Lou Winston. Knee to the midsection. Travis knocks him off his feet. It goes to the corner. The tag on Tracy Smothers.
The masked man down on the deck from that right hand of Tracy, and there's a tag on Billy Travis. Woohoo! Shot to the midsection. He hopped him sunset flip style and got him. 1, 2, 3. So the winners will be Billy Travis, Tracy Smothers.
3 minutes, 33 seconds the time.
More action coming up in a moment. We're about ready to go with more of the action, and this is going to be the King, Jerry Lawler, and Tony Falk. Yes, Tony.
Lance Russell, I have something I want to say. You know, things haven't looked very good for me around here in the past.
Had some problems.
But I'm going to change all that real soon, right here today. I've been working out, and I feel good. And I'm going to beat Jerry Lawler right here today and make a name for myself on this TV. You watch.
Okay, Tony. I like to see a man with confidence, but crazy's another thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we have. Right
Tony,
there,
who has never won a match here.
Never.
Last week, 2 shots at it.
Yeah, he lost three last week.
Three falls against 2 different opponents.
That's right. Well, he says he's going to beat the King today. Let's see. This will be a 1-fall, 15-minute time limit match. And introducing from St. Louis, Missouri, at 226 pounds, Tony Falk. And going against him from Memphis, Tennessee, at 234 pounds, the King, Jerry Lawler. 1-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
Hoggy Dog. Falk seems like he's really ready to go. He rushes across, knocks the referee down, starts swinging away on the King, Jerry Lawler. Referee Jerry Calhoun is down on the deck as Falk just ran over him. Lawler ducks under the clothesline, nails him with a right hand, picks him up, pile drives him down. Referee just now getting up, count of 1, count of 2, count of 3. Oh, well, Tony, back to the drawing board.
Yeah. 24 seconds the time on it.
We really, in fact, never got the opening bell down there, but the official winner, Jerry the King Lawler. the King was the victor in that last one. I want to tell you folks who are not only interested in wrestling, but specifically interested in Jerry the King Lawler. There's a brand new video out that is available, as a matter of fact, and this one is not in the stores. It's one that you will be ordering. We're going to give you that address and all. It has all of the matches, not all of, obviously, but it has a great many of the matches of Jerry the King Lawler, an opportunity to pick it up and have it in your home, and you'll have a chance to sit there and enjoy many hours of entertainment watching and reliving the matches of Jerry the King Lawler. It is available with MasterCharge or Visa by simply calling or writing to J.K. Lawler Video. You'll have a chance to get it at Post Office Box 3020, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08034. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. The total price, $29.95 plus $5.25 postage. You can call, as a matter of fact, right now, toll-free to 1-800-524-2507. The Jerry Lawler Video, 1-800-524-2507. Having said it, here he is, right here, Jerry the King Lawler, who has got, and we've seen a lot of memorable matches, but I got to tell you, he's got one coming up Monday night down at the Mid-South Coliseum. I just can't hardly believe that. First, congratulations on getting the belt right back around your waist, Jerry.
Well, thank you, Lance. I wanted to talk a little bit, before we talk about this Monday, I'd like to talk for just a minute about last Monday. You know, I came out here and I told the people what I was going to do. I told them I wasn't going to let anybody down, and this right here is proof of the fact that I didn't, brother. The only person that went down was Bill Dundee, and he is minus the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Thank you very much.
And Paula is not minus her hair, and she is very appreciative of that.
You better believe it. I am too. I can guarantee you that. Now, we come to this week. You know, Dundee, immediately, he's begging for rematches. He went to Eddie Marlin. Right away, he said, I don't care any stipulation. I don't care what it is. You get Lawler to put that Southern title back on the line next week. So Eddie Marlin calls me and says, Dundee wants a rematch right away. I said, hey, how about letting him wait a while like he made me do? How about putting him at the bottom of the ladder? And he said, well, he'll go for any stipulation. And the first thing that came to my mind was, just exactly as I've done with Dundee in the past, I told Eddie Marlin, I said, how about a loser-leave town match between Dundee and I? Because I've said before, I don't want to come out here and have to wrestle Dundee week in and week out in a long series of matches. You know, he's been gone for 2 years. He's come back. He's wreaked havoc. And I think he's been here long enough already. And I said, let's get rid of him.
All right.
But then, I think that I came up, you ever see how a little light bulb appears over somebody's head when they get a good idea? Well, I looked up and there was a light bulb because I thought I had a brilliant idea. I said, wait a minute, Eddie, before you approach him with that stipulation, I don't want a loser-leave town match. At least I don't want that to be his end of the stipulation. You tell him that the only way he's going to get another shot at this belt is the same treatment that he gave to me. Not only does his hair have to be at stake, but he can go home, tell his wife that she's going to have to come down and put her hair at stake too, brother. That's the only way that the match is signed. And I want to tell you that I still am amazed that Dundee signed the contract. Now, it's some heavy stipulations on both sides, Lance. I realize that should I lose this match, it's a loser-leave town match for me.
For you.
Not only would I lose the belt, but I wouldn't be able to wrestle here anymore. And it's not, also Eddie Marlin said there'd be no coming back under a mask or anything like that if you lose. I said, Eddie, I'm not even thinking about losing, brother. I was born and raised right here in Memphis, Tennessee. This is my home, the whole southern area, and I don't plan on going anywhere. I can assure you of that. I'm going to keep this belt, and Bill Dundee, you are going to step into that ring, you and your wife, and brother, they are going to put some clippers to their head, and it is not going to be just a haircut. They are going to shave them both bald if he loses, Lance. I mean completely bald-headed, not a haircut, but shaved heads. Now, Dundee, I want you to think back, and I want the people to think about this because, you know, I sat down, and this is something that really played on my mind. I couldn't believe once before Dundee sat in the middle of the ring, and they shaved his head. And he had to go home, and he had to face his wife. And he had to look her in the eye, and he had to admit to her, and she had to admit that he was only number 2, that he was not the best man in that ring. And somehow, he convinced her to then put her hair at stake. He told her, he said, baby, I can do it. I know I can do it the second time. please come down there and put your hair at stake. I know I got my head shaved now. I know I look like an idiot. I know I'm bald as an onion, but put your hair at stake and I'll come through. I'll win it for you. But you know what happened, Lance?
Yeah.
Bill Dundee knows what happened, and all the people knows what happened. She came down, and I beat him again, and they put the clippers to her hair, and they both went home bald-headed about 4 or 5 years ago. And Dundee, I don't know how she stayed with you then, brother, because every morning for about 6 months you had to wake up, and you had to stare at each other looking like two cue balls. Well, I can assure you of this. It's going to happen again, brother, when you get in that ring with me. I'm going to beat you. They're going to shave both your heads. And I don't know, and I don't think you know, if she can handle that twice, brother. So you're going to find out, I can guarantee you, when you get in the ring and go for this belt. Because, Dundee, you're coming out, and your wife is coming out bald-headed, Lance.
Okay, Jerry, that's it, boy. What a heavy situation. When they meet, it's going to be there must be a winner. No time, no disqualification. There must be a winner. You are going to see it happen. Loser leave town for Lawler. Bill and Beverly Dundee's hair at stake when they get in that ring facing each other. Back in a moment. All right, action still to go right here. We hope you'll stay right tuned. I was looking January the 6th. That's coming up at Hopkinsville, Kentucky. The 9th at Madisonville, Kentucky. But, brother, we got some action Wednesday night. Are you believing? You've just seen that huge, huge battle that's going to be taking place between Lawler and Dundee. But it is not the only one. The sheepherders will be looking for a little revenge because a couple of gentlemen who are very exciting to watch, the Fantastics, got a win over them, and by golly, they're ready to come back to Evansville and do it again.
Well, you know, Mr. Russell, I'll tell you one thing exciting when you're going up north, and even though it's cold, is going right there to Evansville and all those warm people out there, because the Fantastics get a warm feeling when we see all those gorgeous girls. Because let me tell you this, Mr. Russell, I know you haven't been there in a while, but those girls keep getting prettier and prettier. Sheepherders, Johnny Boyd, you're no prettier, brother. And let me tell you, you've run roughshod over a lot of people here, but the Fantastics aren't going to stand there and take it. We're going to put it back in your face. So with all them people saying USA, USA, we're going to come here, brother, and come out winners.
That's right, Bobby. You know, we're proud Americans. You've been cutting down the great US of A. Well, we're going to come out and we're going to shut you up once and for all. But you know, Bobby, after it's all over, we'd like to sit down and watch that last match because I know it's going to be a real barn burner.
You got that one. I'll tell you another barn burner is going to be that bullwhip on a pole when Rick Casey and Dutch Mantel tangled it up.
That's right. The last time we were there, I had my kind of match, which was a Texas cowbell match, and Rick Casey won it. Everybody there seen it. Now we're going to come back and we're going to take a bullwhip and put it on top of a pole. The first man gets to it can use it. Yep. Right? Well, I can handle a bullwhip pretty good myself, Dutch Mantel. I'm not taking nothing away from you. I know you're tough, baby. But get ready, because Rick Casey's going to shimmy right on up that pole and get that bullwhip, Daddy, and he's going to tear your tail up.
And then that final match is going to have Bill and Beverly Dundee's hair at stake against Jerry Lawler leaving town. No time, no disqualification. Southern heavyweight title on the line, my friend. It will be an exciting night of action coming up Wednesday night right there in Evansville. You got to make your plans to be there. Dundee out and in the ring, and you hear the kind of reception that he gets from the crowd. I would have to add this too, Dave. Well-deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. He is ready to go in this single match here. From Memphis, Tennessee, at 203 pounds, introducing David Johnson. Going against him from Australia, at 214 pounds, the superstar Bill Dundee. Jerry Calhoun, the referee for this match.
One fall, 15 minutes. Dundee going against David Johnson, and David has got, like they say, slim and no chance of beating Dundee as far as I see it. I honest in fact, got to put it in the same category as Tony Falk's chances of beating Jerry Lawler in that last match. Hey, no sooner said than there it is. It is done. Dundee, I think, was trying to show up Lawler by taking him as quick as he could.
He did. He took it in 16 seconds.
And the official winner, Bill Superstar Dundee.
Cloud on the rise. Why
The rough and tumble Aussie, Bill Superstar Dundee, who is coming up in one that we talked.
You know something? I can't wait till tomorrow. You know why? Because I get better looking every day.
Modesty is certainly not one of those things that overrides Bill's personality. That's for a fact. Bill, you and Beverly are going to have your hair up at stake when you climb in that ring with Jerry the King Lawler against the fact that he's going to have to leave town. No time, no disqualification, no stopping the match. There must be a winner. It's going to happen, friend. And your wife, Beverly, if you will hold up just a moment, had some words to say about it. Let's take a listen and see what she's got to say.
Jerry and Paula Lawler, I have a little message for you. The other night when Bill came home and asked me if I would put my hair up in a loser leave town match, which I've done once before, I had to think about it for a little while. But then I got to thinking about it and I thought, boy, sweet revenge at last. Now, Paula Lawler, I want to see if you can do what I did, because I'm a hell of a woman. I traveled all over this country living in motels out of suitcases. I lived in the swamps of Louisiana. I did the whole deal. Let's see what you can do. If I thought for 1 minute that Bill would lose this match, I would never go for this. But I have utmost confidence in my very pretty husband and my masculine husband that he can do this. He can beat you, Jerry Lawler. He's beat you many times before. This time, he's really going to beat you. And you're going to be gone. You're going to be trooping through all the swamps, etc. So I'll see you, Mr. and Mrs. Lawler, at ringside.
Well, that's about the story of it.
What is that, a classy woman?
Well, she's got her hair up at stake along with yours.
That's right. Now, let me tell all you rednecks something. This ain't just a wrestling match. This goes back to 1975, Daddy, when Bill Superstar came here. And Jerry Lawler wasn't even here. He was off in Florida somewhere. George Barnes and I came in here, tamed this whole area, and then somebody says, bring Jerry Lawler back. The two Aussies just beat everybody up. So back comes Lawler, puts that stupid crown on his head, and he struts out and says, here I am, folks, the king of the South. Wrong, Daddy. That burned me up then, and it burns me up now. Okay, you're right, Lawler, and I'm taking nothing off you, Daddy. You're as bad as they are. You just showed a tape, and you whooped every sucker that's working in New York today. You beat everybody that is wrestling in New York City today, from Hulk Hogan to Jimmy Hart. You whooped them all, Lawler, and that's right. Beverly Dundee sat right there in the middle of the ring, and that barber shaved her head. And the week before that, I sat there and you shaved my head, Daddy. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Lawler. That burned me up from that day on, and I've dreamt about this day. I've dreamt about running you out of town, Lawler, and by God, the Dundees are going to do it. Because Beverly don't like you, and I don't like you, and I hope Paula comes down there and she climbs up into that ring because she'll beat her brains out. I don't like you, Lawler. I don't like nothing you stand for. You're looking at the new king of the South, Daddy. I know you rednecks may not like it, but by God, as sure as my name is Bill Dundee, I'm gonna beat you, Lawler. I may be bleeding, I may be doing anything, but I'm gonna get the last 1, 2, 3, and you're gone, Lawler.
Well, that's what it's all about. If Dundee can do what he says, it's all over with for Lawler. He'll be leaving. But on the other hand, if Lawler comes out victorious, a ball, Bill and Beverly Dundee. Going to be a classic match. We're going to be back with more action in a moment. Whoa, we had several bouts in there today and some interesting situations in there. One thing I want to tell the folks, Dave, before we do a little quick recap on what happened today, and that is the Freedom Fighters, Hellwig and Borden, informed me, forget Freedom Fighters. They are now known as the Blade Runners. They've kind of changed their image, giving us that weird California look. We'll be seeing them, the Blade Runners.
All right. Well, today we saw Rick Casey come in here and defeat the Invader in a little under 4 minutes. He looked good in that match. It was Dutch Mantel over Jameson, the Fantastics. Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers winning over Pat Rose and the Spoiler. It was Billy Travis and Tracy Smothers defeating Big Lou and his partner, possibly the Invader. We don't know for sure who his other opponent was. Never got his name. He wrestled under a mask. Who was that masked man? Jerry Lawler then defeated Tony Falk. It was Bill Dundee over David Johnson, and that's the way it stacked up today on Championship Wrestling.
I want to tell you, you look around, brother, because if you get a chance to go see that match when Lawler and Dundee get together with those stipulations, brother, you don't want to miss it. Going to be a dandy and a half. When those two guys clash, it is always classic. This will even be more fierce, you can bet on. Okay, David, we've run out of time. We're looking forward to seeing everybody next week, and until that time, for Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.